Today's video, I didn't want to BS you, do any of the graphics, none of that stuff. We're just going to get straight to the point. And this is obviously about Frank Ragnow, the replacements of Frank Ragnow. I could sit here and make all the graphics in the world and all the cool players and free agency and all this stuff. I'm not doing that today because y'all don't want none of that. You just want to get straight to the point after the breaking news yesterday. The news about Frank Ragnow retiring, it's bittersweet, right? None of us is really mad at Frank Ragnow or anything like that. I mean, come on. I mean, the guy, his body's broken down. He gave it for the Lions. I got no issue there. It's sad for him to be so young, obviously, and have to retire with an injury. That sucks. I know the feeling. But the Lions do. We got to move forward. We got to have a center. And so in this video, we're going to go over the options of replacing Frank Ragnow. There's two main options that's going to take place. That is going to be it. There's one supreme main option. That's why I'm not doing all the graphics. But we're going to get the intro started and get at it. Let's go. I'm going to sit there and say, hey, you looked at the thumbnail. You've seen that there is a player that is not a Detroit Lions on that. They could look to free agency to do that. They could look to free agency, right, on the free agent market. But right now, there's butt cheeks, and that's not going to be the case. Here is the free agent players available at center, and you're talking about butt cheeks, right? You're talking about David Andrews, New England Patriots, and okay, here's the thing. Could the Lions sign a guy as a free agent? Yeah, it'd be a backup, the backup, right? So they could sign a lineman, but if they do sign a lineman, would be a guard or a center or anything in the near future before training camp, I would not expect at all that guy is going to be your starter or that's going to be the man replacing Frank Ragnow. I don't believe that's going to be the case because we can talk about the replacements right now. We can just hear what Hank Fraley has to say about that, and then that'd pretty much give you your answer right there. So let's get in here. Let's talk about this really quick. So name one replacement in the comment section right now. Just any name you want to do. Let's get into the article that, well, first off, let's do the Pride of Detroit article to break it down because they did this, I think it was probably last night, and it's exactly what you're supposed to do when you lose a player is talk about your options of replacing that player, right? You lose one, you got to talk about the options. So they did a good article right here, right now. I'd say go ahead and read it, give you a perspective. But we're not even going to look at this one, okay? We're going to look at, first off, the depth chart. This is the most important thing. Already, Frank Ragnow is off the depth chart on ESPN. You go check it out yourself. Graham Glasgow is slated as the starter as of right now. Option that, of course, that's going to be the case. He has played center many years. He is a veteran. He's done it as a backup for the Detroit Lions. That is your natural starter who's going to be placed in that spot right now. But I don't believe he's going to be the guy week one. You get your backup here, Michael Neese and Kingsley Aguikin. Actually, somebody talked about in an article that that's who you need to watch out for. I don't think that's who you need to watch out for. I'm going to tell you who I think you need to watch out for to play center because Hank Fraley basically said it. So here's what he says. Okay. This is RO offensive lineman coach. It's going to become a natural for him, Fraley said, of Ratledge playing center this season. I thought what he did rookie minicamp was pretty good. In time, he's going to get down and become a pretty good center here. Here's the full quote from Haley. Says, where will Tate Ratledge play when Frank Ragnow returns? Whatever I tell him. He's an interior player. This is before, right, or returns. That's where I envision him playing. More interior. Center is not as natural for him yet, so you'll definitely tend to give him more reps at that snapping the ball, making it more comfortable. See him helping us definitely on the interior. I know the young man, getting to know him more as a rookie in minicamp, and prior to that, he's going to do whatever I ask. I joked with him. hey, play tackle for us, stuff like that. He definitely needs some time on there training. It's going to become natural for him. I thought he did in rookie minicamp was pretty good for handling that. Our centers like arose from the whole league. They do a lot. They have a lot on their plate. They're like the quarterbacks of the offensive line, and they are. They do a lot. They have a lot on their plate. They're like, oh, I don't know why I just repeated that. In time, he's going to go down and become pretty good center here. I know he can flex out a guard. I know that's where all his tape is in college, so he definitely got the majority of them at center, but also same way rookie, as you guys probably weren't around here, flexing him. All right, get back to guard, get back to his side. That's good enough what he showed. So here's the deal. This is your center. It is going to be Tate Ratledge is going to be the Lion center. Now, maybe he's not 100% ready. They're going to definitely give him all the snaps in the world. But if he is not ready, you do got Graham Glasgow. Now, before, obviously, the retirement, I talked about Graham Glasgow potentially not making the roster. That's not the case now. He's definitely going to be in the roster. You have to have him. You have to have him now. There's 100%, right? He is now he's an invaluable piece because he can play that center position, and he knows it quite well, and he's familiar with Jared Goff. So in the comments, give me a one-word reaction to the Lions' offensive line situation. Again, maybe Brad Holmes must have, if he didn't know that this was going to occur, he definitely did the right decision. Obviously, back-to-back with the offensive line. It's going to go down. You know, a lot of people were upset that we took Miles Frazier after Tate Ratledge. A lot of people were upset that we decided to go lineman that early. That was the greatest decision. Greatest decision. Matter of fact, we probably would have got luckier if offensive line didn't go earlier in the draft because there was such a big push on it. Potentially, they could have taken even a lineman there at the 28th pick. So Tate Ratledge is going to be the guy, in my opinion. That's it. Just, I mean, you literally, Hank has spelt it out for you. He is. We don't know if it's going to be the immediate future. If he's not ready, he's not ready. If he's not ready week one, he's not ready. But he is definitely going to be the future center for the Detroit Lions. So, like, I can go over this article and tell you about, like, you know, we can look at free agents down the road. There's really no point in doing that. This is going to be your center. Now, here's the thing when it comes to, if he does start week one, there's going to be some hiccups. And he's got to get better in his stance. He stands really high. He's a tall guy. Mr. 69, the walking meme himself. He's going to get all the opportunity in preseason. We got an extra preseason game that is vital for Ratledge. He's going to need all the reps that he can get. And I don't know, you know, how are they going to put him, you know, when training camp comes, is Graham Glasgow going to start at center and he just be backup center with the twos? Is that how it's going to work? Not 100% sure, but I fully expect now he's going to get a lot of reps at the center position. So you're going to go from Ragnow to Ratledge. And Mahogany and Frazier. And we'll see who's going to be the opposite guard there. Man, this offensive line is going to be completely different. You're going to have 3 new starters on there. 3 new starters. That is a lot of turbulence in a position group. You don't want a lot of turbulence in. You want a lot of them together, bend together. They know each other. We've had a situation where this offensive line's always been injured, not last year, but before that, and the continuity would be down. So there's going to be some rust for sure. But the options are right here. It's not that much. This is what I do think that's what they're going to do. But again, like I was saying, they could bring in another lineman. It could even be a guard or anything just for extra depth because you did just lose a guy, right? So you want to bring in an extra depth. But I truly don't believe that they're going to go outside for the center. It's going to be completely on the inside because I don't think Hank is a liar. Get in the comments, who do you want to replace Frank Ragnow? If you want it to be Tate Ratledge, put 69 in the comments. Graham Glasgow is going to be he goes from a player that was pretty much irrelevant, because of all the draft that we did. Wow, to a player that is pretty much important right now. Because imagine if you would have any sort of injuries on the offensive line. Imagine if you had Ratledge get injured. Oh, my goodness. Like, you're in a world of hurt at that point because of losing Frank Ragnow. Such a big piece. And I tell you what, this is a big year. If this is a transition year for the offensive line, and I hopefully they get better as the year. You want them to gel as the year goes along, especially near the playoffs. I still think the Lions are a playoff caliber team. I do think they are worse today, 100%, with Frank Ragnow. And it's the truth. It's the truth of the situation. Doesn't mean that they're not going to do good. It doesn't mean that Hank can't get the best out of his guys. But when you're losing an all-pro, it's going to be a downturn a little bit. It is going to be a little bit of a downturn. But the future is bright because they got a Tate Ratledge. They drafted a player. Remember, we drafted Frank Ragnow, and yeah, when he started as a rookie, it took a little bit of time. He played guard and stuff, ended up being a great center. What if Ratledge can do the same? What if you're replacing a GOAT with a GOAT? He's got the ability to do it. He is a boss. He's a bad guy. So, I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe it's going to be as good immediately. I think there's definitely going to be some issues. But I think if there's anybody that can coach up a player, it's Hank Fraley. Players. And I think he could make Ratledge a good center. I think he damn well could. So I think the future is bright. We all knew at some point Ragnow, we were just thinking maybe this year would be his last year. We wanted that to him another year. But at some point, we're going to have to pull off this. It was going to this. You're going to have to. You have to rip the scab off, right? It was this year. So we're all under a Ratledge now. We love you, Ragnow, man. Sucks. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have no hate for anybody that retires due to injury in family. I think it's admirable. I can never say it. There is no saltiness. Questions, though, for you about Frank Ragnow. Do you think that he should be in the Lions Hall of Fame, right? Do you think that at some point he should be there? God, he's had such it's a short career because of his injury, but he was the best center for so many years. So give me your thoughts on this one. Again, prayers up to Rags. I wish you a happy retirement, man. Put your body first. God bless you. With that said, folks, adios.